Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. So today we are going to discuss on Ansible roles, and it is a part of our Ansible series. So let's start with Ansible roles. So Ansible role is basically defined to divide your big and huge playbook into multiple modules. So role provide a framework for independent and interdependent collection of variable, task, module and templates. So whenever you have a huge and a big round of playbook using using Ansible role, you can divide those particular playbook into multiple role, which that will make your playbook very effective and easy to implement. So it is a basically diagram of our Ansible role. Whenever you create a role, it will create a folder, and there are some subfolder which include a main.yaml file where you can define your automation thing, your variable, your template, your handler, etc. So basically whenever I create Ansible role, it will create a subfolders. So what are the folders? What are the folder structure in between files? So let's move to next slide. So whenever I create a role with, for example, if I create a role with common name, so there are some of the folders which being configured like task, handlers, library, files, template, variables, default and meta, and all the folders contain one YAML file with default name called main.yml. Now next, these are the directory structure and what exact that particular folder is being used is defined over here. The default directory is for defining the variable, and variable in default have lowest priority, thus become very easy to overwrite. Files. We use file directory to add file provided by provisioning the machine without modification. Mostly we use copy task for referencing the files in a file directory. Handlers directory is used for storing Ansible handlers, and handlers are the tasks that may be flagged during the play to run at the play completion. Then meta. We use meta directory to store the authorship information, which is used if we choose to publish our role on galaxy.ansible.com. If you want to create a setup role and that need to be uploaded to galaxy.ansible.com, you need to define your authorship in meta folder. The task directory where we write most of our roles, which include all the tasks our role will perform, and we write each series of the task in separate file and include them into main.yml in the task directory. So whatever the task we want to perform using this role, we need to define those tasks in our main.yaml under task directory. And the last one is template. This is where we create a variable file that define necessary variable for our role, and variable defined in this directory mean to for role internal use only. Okay, so let's me just navigate to practical scenarios. So here what I'm going to perform, I'm going to set up LAMP, Apache, MySQL and PHP. I choose Ubuntu as operating system. So here I'm going to set up some of the role and using that particular role I'm going to use different folder for different use. So I have used same inventory file, and if you remember, I merge into default file of Ansible. So I define infra as alias group and add two machines. First let me check the connectivity using ping module and infra. So both the machines been successfully communicated. Now let me just navigate to my blog. This is my blog URL where I just add all the things. Now I need to create some role. So here I'm going to set up 4 roles. First Apache, second for PHP, third for MySQL, and fourth I'm going to set up a group variable where I put all the variable files into one separate role. So I'm just navigate to my role directory. Role directory been already created whenever you set up the Ansible. Here you can see there is no any folder created before it. So let me create first role Ansible-Galaxy init and the name of the role. So let me choose Apache, APACHE. Make sure there is no spelling mistake or else it will create an issue. Second is PHP. Third one is for MySQL. And fourth one for group var. Group var. Okay. So let me run tree command. Apt install tree. So here you can see there are some folders, subfolders, and file inventory, then main.yaml file. Here I have created 4 different roles. So Apache, group was, then PHP and MySQL and PHP. So each role folder contain multiple subfolder as we discuss on the presentation file, default file, handlers, meta, task, template, and test. So now we are going to use each file and provide data to each main.yaml. So first I'm going to provide variables. So we need some variables and we need to define those variables into group var. So let me navigate to group var folder and let me choose ls. So here you can see one folder called vars is there. So let me navigate to vars, and there is one file called main.yaml. It's only having 3 dash. So let me open the main.yaml. And I'm adding some variables. So let me change some name for tech server global.com. Configuration file, I'm just using tech server global.com.conf. Port number 80. User data, if you want to choose your third-party application user, you can change. Sudo user, root user. MySQL password, I have set p@SSWORD123, and PHP version I just want 8.1. So whatever variable you want to define with your Ansible playbook, you can define over here. So let me save this. So our variable we defined it. Now next. Now after define my variables, I'm just going to set up each role. First is Apache. So let me just navigate to Apache role. And I'm going to open task folder. Whatever the task you want to perform for that particular role, you need to define over the task directory. And I'm just open main.yaml. I'm just copying this this file, and then we'll discuss on the all the terms. Let me copy. Okay, so now we discuss. First, install the prerequisites. So as we know, I have choose Ubuntu, so I'm using apt. If it is CentOS or Red Hat based, it should be yum or DNF. So I'm using apt name, and then in cursive bracket, it's indicate a Jinja template. So whatever the define under item file of variable, it will install that thing. Then update catch, it should be yes. State latest one, and force apt get is equals to yes. Now next, install a name, and here I choose the value. It's a loop, and it is working as a loop thing. So whatever the value is defined over here, like apt install apt update, first it will try to aptitude update, because before install any package we need to run apt update to just fetch the latest source list file as well as the updated the existing one. Second, Apache configuration, I'm going to use install Apache package. apt name of the item should be the loop in Apache 2, and update catch yes, and state is latest. If it is nginx, you need to change it to nginx. If it is vsactivity or any package, you just need to change the value of the loop. Then path, first it will create a document root. If we generally we have the idea that if it is Apache, the default value path is var html. Here I just choose http_host, and state is directory. Owner is app user. App user I define it as a data, and mode folder permission would be 0755. Now set up Apache variable virtual host. Source, it will try to find a files directory and apache.conf.j2. J2 stands for Jinja template. So what is Jinja template? We'll have separate video on same, but initially you just need to understand that it is a template. We need to just copy it to Apache conf. Then where it should be uploaded. So if you remember, if you know that Apache is having sites available and which link to sites enable, and under that particular http conf template, it will copy that particular file, and then enable new site. After putting that particular file, the file configuration, we need to enable it. So the command will be /usr/sbin A to N side and HTTP conf. If you want to disable default, you can, but I just simply disable it. Also using UFW, you need to allow that particular port number. So I allow UFW is having again a module. So if you remember in module video, I defined that there are total 1000+ modules are available with the Ansible. So UFW is one of them. Now rule, I need to allow port number HTTP port, which I define as a port 80 in variable. Prototype is TCP, and service reload and restart the Apache. So here I just define this task definition file under task file, and I'm saving this. Now the next thing, I need to create apache2.conf.j2. Make sure the spelling is same, or else it shows no such file is found. And I'm going to create under files directory. Let me just verify. So here you can consider source is under files /apache.conf.j2. So let me just navigate to files and create while and the content of the default virtual host. So here you can see consider virtual and HTTP port number *:80. The name of the server name is http_host. What the value of the HTTP host, which I define on variable. So let look into the variable file again. I have defined http_host is techserverweb.com. So that will create as a server name. So again, it is a part of the Jinja template. Whenever there are two cursive bracket, it should be considered as a Jinja template. Now alias, if it is www.http host, you can define. You don't need to define or change the value over here. You just only simply need to change in variable file. If variable file is defined properly, then all these things will validate automatic way. So this is the power of automation with Ansible. Document root var www http host, error log apache log dir. It should be /var/log/apache2 and error log, and custom log access log. Directory should be var www http host and module. I have defined this only. You can add your requirement accordingly. Now my Apache task been created. Now second thing, let me add handler to restart that particular services. So let me copy this thing, and I'm just navigating to handler directory. Let me delete. Okay. Now my Apache role been created. Now second PHP. Now let me just open the default folder and default.yaml, because we are going to set up some variables, and variable we need to define under default directories. So let me just switch it to PHP defaults and vi main.yaml. I'm just copying this. Now I'm just change this my description 8.1 8.x. Whatever PHP module you like to set up, you can define over here. FPM, MySQL, CLI, common, JSON. So all the PHP module been set up with the your PHP setup. Now I'm just navigating to PHP task directory. And open the main.yml. Let me copy this. So first I'm just define UTF default language repository, because to install we need to set up the repo for the PHP. Then it try to update the default packages and then it install. Now here you can see the PHP version which I defined on the variable where I put PHP 8.1. So it will install PHP 8.1 with items PHP modules which I define on the default directory. And also PHP info.php I need to set up which is responsible for to validate whether all the packages being installed or not. So navigating to files directory and copy this PHP info. The file name is info.php.j2. Okay. Now the last thing, we need to set up a MySQL. Let me navigate to task directory of MySQL role. MySQL. Let me copy. So now one by one I'm just explaining. First it will try to identify the patches. Install MariaDB. Here if I just choose MariaDB, so it will install MariaDB. Then start the services. Then MariaDB configuration. Here I use MySQL_user module to set up the password which if you remember I define on the variable. And login socket with remove all the anonymous users, login passwords, remove all test databases, all the things with these are the steps which we perform after setting up the MySQL using command called MySQL_secure_installation. So all the things being managed from the now. Let me create the final deploy YAML file under root directory. Let me create deploy.yml. You can use your name, and I'm copying all the things. So this is the main file where we need to set up first name. Host I just add with infra because infra is already defined under group of two machine. Become is the method to perform administrator task when we run when we need to install or set up any services. We need to run sudo. So become is the terminology to perform all the tasks as a root user. Become method, we are using sudo. Then vars file. Vars stands for the variables where it set up. So roles where I set up the group var, and then vars and main.yaml. And what are the roles which we need to use? Apache, MySQL and PHP. So when I set up that particular role, at the moment I said the role name should be proper, or else it shows an error because it tried to identify this role with that particular name like Apache, MySQL and PHP. So let me run this Ansible -playbook and deploy.yaml. So gathering the facts, first it trying to identify infra node. Let's first open with Apache role. Apache being set up. It shows an error. HTTP_host is undefined. So let me check with this error. I'm pause this video and just validating this error. Okay, sorry for the inconvenient. Actually, there is some spelling mistake on deploy.yaml. Instead of group vars directory, it was here I defined group var. So as was missing, that was the cause. It tried to identify group var folder, and here I have created with role with group vars, and directory also present with this particular name. So let me rerun this Ansible playbook deploy.yaml. And whenever you work with the open source technology, the spelling mistake is a crucial thing. So all the things being not working on simple spelling mistake. So here all the things work fine for the Apache. Now next is MySQL. Now install MariaDB packages. Yes, it's been changed. Start the services. Some warning is this case sensitive is not provided. So default is now false. So the column name is uppercases. So default change will be true. So password, while setting up the password, it shows a warning that password is not up to mark as per the policy. So it shows an error. Not say error, it shows warning. Now it's the time for PHP 8.1. And set a FVM. Now all the modules with PHP. Yes, there are some package with JSON has no installation module. So whenever you install the packages for PHP, it should be some like PHP DBG is the issue. So make sure that particular packages is available with your PHP version. As I have copied that particular version from my 7.4 installation. So with 8.1, some of the modules are not being available. So remaining are the installing now. MB string call, JD, zip, XML, SOAP, BCMH. Dev. So there are one patch, or we can say the PHP module being not installed. So it shows fail, and remaining all 18 been okay and 11 thing being changed. So let me validate first Apache CTL Apache 2 status, systemctl status, sorry, cc status Apache 2. So it's been start and running. Let me check UFW status. It's inactive, but port number is whitelisted. Let me check the PHP-v. Sorry, it's been 8.1, and let me log in with MySQL-u root-p. P is the SSWRD 123. Now you can check the MariaDB is also installed with the valid root credentials 10.6. So yes, this is the way to set up multiple packages with using roles. So initially, when you set up the first role, you need to define all the things. But whenever you perform this task repeatedly, you only think you need to change your host configuration on Apache, then the version of the PHP and the version of MySQL. The remaining thing you need to put as it is. So let me validate the configuration as well in etc Apache 2 and site variable. There is file called textserverglobal.conf. Now let me validate the default. We set server name from the variable, document root also from the variable, and directory also from the variable. And let me validate the var www. There is folder called textserverglobal, and these are the default root directories there. Now let me validate php-m modules. So all the modules which we have defined on the PHP task or PHP handles been set up with the PHP. So using Ansible role, you can set up multiple complex packages, services with simple handy way, and using this playbook with role, you can set up multiple things on multiple environments. You just need to change the value of the environment, like variables. For example, currently I set up with the text server global. If it is abc.com, I just need to change the value of on variables, that's it, and the remaining thing will put as it is. So hope you guys will like my videos and you have accurate idea of what I trying to explain you guys. So thank you for watching my videos, and kindly subscribe the channel and stay tuned for the next videos. Thank you very much.